All right. So the next topic is a pretty heavy one. We're going to be talking about building on the battlefield. There are probably few contexts where people are, where phrases like shit hitting the fan or things being battle tested actually really apply or are close to not so, how is it called, symbolic or something like that. This is one of those contexts where that may apply. We're going to be hearing from John Adams, CRO at Aimprosoft, and they have been building technology in a pressure cooker effectively, as you all may be aware of. And they have been managing distributed IT teams effectively under pressures of war. He will shed light on how he and his team adapted to the unprecedented challenges, how they've developed resilience in light of this situation, and how they've maintained flexibility to sustain innovation through all of this upheaval. So please give a warm round of applause for John Adam, CRO at Aimprosoft.
It's great to see so many faces out there today, and such friendly ones. Do we have an international audience? Do we have anyone from North America here? Yeah, anyone from South America? A few of you? Asia? Some representatives from Asia? Europe? Yeah. Ukraine? You guys can leave. We're going to be learning lessons from Ukraine today about infrastructure and team resilience. You've already learned them. You can make some space for the others. The way that our brains work as human beings is that we picture how things are going to turn out. Whatever situation we face, we look into the future, we see how we expect it to go. It starts when we're children. Thinking about our first day at a new school, for example, we picture how we're going to execute it brilliantly, how everything's going to go smoothly. Even what Santa's going to bring us for Christmas. I remember 10-year-old me expecting Santa to bring me that Optimus Prime toy. Unfortunately, the way that we picture things, the way that we see them, it doesn't always turn out like that. Santa didn't bring me that Optimus Prime. It's fair to say that I didn't react particularly well. My mother still does say that. First days also didn't always go to plan. Sometimes we hit bumps in the road. When we're children, we learn quickly. We're programmed to. So we learn that plan A doesn't always work. We understand that sometimes we have to quickly adapt to a plan B. Sometimes we have to go to plan C. That sets us up for adulthood. Apologies. There's supposed to be a slide here of Mike Tyson. Obviously, it didn't quite come through yesterday when we sent the new slide deck through. So Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight champion, is perhaps not best known as a strategic thinker. But to reach the top of competitive international sport, you have to be strategic. And Tyson summed up with an absolutely spectacularly concise and accurate line what made him such a success as a boxer. He said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. So today we're going to talk about how we react, how we come back when we do get punched in the face. Boxers get punched in the face a lot. It's part of the package. The good ones, they learn to expect the blows that are coming, and they dodge most of them. They mitigate the risk. The best ones, when plan A doesn't work, when the blow does land, they're able to absorb it. They're able to pull their scattered thoughts back together. They're able to push on. If you have a glass jaw, if you're not able to pull your thoughts back together, if you have that vulnerability, that single point of weakness, you won't be a great boxer. If you're a business, you also have to learn to cope with punches to the face. You can't have a vulnerability. Businesses, like boxers, need to have a plan A, and they need to have a plan B, C, D, and often E. All of us are here at Web Summit these few days with a plan. We have expectations. We have things that we want to achieve. If we didn't think that we had a good chance of achieving them, we wouldn't be here. We're naturally programmed to be optimistic. Some of us will leave Web Summit happy that we achieved what we expected to. Some of us will get some of the way there. Others may even exceed it. Some of us might end up disappointed. But our plan A won't be the only thing that we're relying on. None of the startups here, none of the businesses here, if it doesn't work out, are necessarily going to fail, or necessarily not going to have the progress that they expect to have. Because they'll have a plan B, they'll have a plan C, they'll have a plan D. They'll have something to push forward with, something to fall back on. But what would happen to your business if you had no electricity for a few hours? What would happen if you had no electricity for a day? Internet goes down for a few hours. What is the impact on your business? If it goes down for a day, what is the impact on your business? If you can't rely on your team, what is the impact on your business? If you lose or can't access some or all of your data for a period of time, what's the impact on your business? If you don't know, if you haven't thought about it, you probably should. The world is becoming less predictable. The unexpected is becoming expected. There are a lot of reasons for that. Climate change is one of them. Extreme weather events are happening more and more often. As you might be able to tell from my accent, I'm originally from Scotland. But it's a little bit muddled now because I've been living in Eastern Europe for almost 20 years. I'm based in Sofia, in Bulgaria. In Bulgaria, we haven't had a stable government for around 3 years now. We've had elections 7 times. The result of that is there's an inability to plan and implement long-term infrastructure projects. We've started to see the impact of that. Our electricity grid is becoming less reliable than it used to be. On Monday evening, I had the pleasure to sit beside the CTO of a major European capital at the opening ceremony. He told me that building resilience into the city's infrastructure, being able to cope with unexpected situations, with emergencies, is a huge topic of conversation. But actually doing the work, making the progress to get where they feel they need to be isn't easy. There's a lot of stakeholders. There's conflicts of interests. Do you put all your data centers in one area of the city, or do you spread them around? You put them all in one place, it's cheaper, it's easier. You spread them around, it's more secure. A lot of the times they all go into one place. At the beginning of July, our new head of marketing at Aimprosoft started. She's here in the audience. Hey, Zhenya. We had several hours of calls planned for onboarding. I had a power cut, 4 or 5 hours. So the first couple of hours I was okay. I fired up a hotspot from my mobile phone. We spoke. After a couple of hours, the battery on my laptop died. Another hour later, my phone, which hadn't been fully charged because I wasn't expecting a power cut, it also died. I was out. Zhenya in Ukraine wasn't. It was me in the EU. And it's not just in Europe. We have clients all over the world. We have a client based in South Carolina in the States, small private bank that deals with high net worth individuals. At the end of September, I believe it was, they were hit badly by Hurricane Helene. They had no power for a couple of days. They had no electricity no connectivity for extended periods. They didn't have a plan B for connectivity for electricity. They were out for those days. Or they did have a plan B. They had our engineers, distributed teams. One engineer in Ukraine, one engineer in the Netherlands. It was them that kept the lights on. It was them that kept the money moving around for their clients. It's becoming more and more frequent. I read an article over the weekend. Last week, the Norwegian government issued a directive to the population, advice. They were sending out pamphlets. It was advising them to have a stock of supplies, food, water, a radio, candles, cash, for up to 1 week in case of an emergency. Obviously, some distant potential threat of Russia was there. The main thing was potential climate events that are unexpected or a cyber attack. In the UK, they've done the same thing. They've also advised the public to build a backup supply, to have those emergency items on hand. There's a reason why governments are doing that. The world is becoming more predictable. It's becoming more and more important to have a plan B, to be able to cope with the unexpected. Most of us are not prepared. Most businesses don't really have a plan B. Aimprosoft does. We haven't had a choice. And today, I'm going to share some of the lessons that we've learned for you to think about your businesses, your startups. You won't be in the same kind of extreme situation as we are. You won't have the same volatility. But sooner or later, the unexpected will happen. There'll be something that you haven't planned for. And if you're not ready, what is the impact going to be? So what have we done? 3 years ago, our plan A was going very well indeed. We were mainly based in Kharkiv. It's Ukraine's second largest city in the east of the country. Very quickly, we had a problem with our plan A. I don't think any of you need too much explanation about what went wrong with our plan A. But we had a plan B. We'd set up another office, a fallback plan in the west of Ukraine, in the foot of the Carpathian Mountains. Within a couple of days of our plan A failing, we'd executed plan B. We were signing client contracts from the back of cars using hotspots as people moved across the country. What we've noticed and what we've seen over the last few years is our clients around the world, they're not as prepared as we are. The pressure of war has concentrated minds. It's meant we've had to back everything up to such an extent because we have to prove our reliability, power, connectivity. Teams being distributed, so there's no one single point of failure. And the result is that we're able to deliver more reliably than our clients who don't face those kind of extreme situations. So when they do happen, when things don't go to plan, they're in trouble. Even the people, and the human factor is at least as important as infrastructure. We've got clients in Europe, in the UK, in Germany, in the USA. They notice that our engineers, our people, are more productive than their own. And they also tell us that the example set by the team members from Ukraine, that they're still producing, that they're not taking sick days when they have a sneeze, it lifts the whole team. The good example makes everyone else want to follow. So what exactly have we done to ensure that we're able to deliver consistency for our clients? Our head office has a huge backup generator with fuel for over a week if we need it. We've got a contract with a local supplier that within 24 hours, they'll bring us fuel for another 3 days immediately. We've got 3 internet connections. 2 of them are optical cables. They don't require electricity. We're backed up by Starlink satellite systems. So that's 1, 2, 3 connectivity sources. We have invincibility offices around the country in safe areas. All of them are backed up with generators. All of them are backed up with several internet suppliers, including satellite. Teams are distributed. If we form a team, they're never in one place. Some are here, some are there in Ukraine, some are in Europe, they'll be in the Netherlands, they'll be in Poland, they'll be in Spain. There's never one single point of vulnerability. We have to be extra reliable because people doubt us. If they see the slightest sign that we're not going to deliver, questions will start to be asked. We need to have that insurance. As startups, as businesses, especially startups, you're in the same situation. It's not quite to the same extent, but people doubt you. They're waiting for you to fail. What are you doing to make sure that you don't? To have that reliability that doesn't give anyone an excuse to doubt you. Think about, what do you need? Our business, we require electricity. We require connectivity. We require reliable, resilient teams. Every business is different. If you're a payment provider, if you're an app for pet sitting, you'll have different requirements. But think about what could go wrong. What could impact your business? What would be the result? And make sure that you have everything that would potentially disrupt your progress, that could give people a reason to doubt you, backed up. Have a plan B. Learn the lessons that we've learned. That's a note from one of our clients. We come back to the question about how teams that build in reliability set the example for the rest. It's expensive if you get it wrong. This is the cost of electricity outages around the world. In the USA, I think that one was. This is the cost if the internet went down for 24 hours. In the US, it's over 11 billion. Because of the plan B, C, D, and E that we've built, over the last 3 years, we've had 0 downtime. We missed 0 meetings. We've missed 0 deadlines. I want to end on a positive note. You do face risks, you do face threats, but as long as you're prepared for them, then you'll be able to absorb those blows. You'll be able to dodge most of them, and the ones that do fall, you'll be able to take. You'll be able to move on. If we can do it, you can do it. One thing that we've learned is that if you want to have resilient people, warm, comfortable feet are very important. So the last lesson that I'm going to bring from Ukraine today is something to help you with warm, comfortable feet. If you've got the wrong size, come and see us later today. We'll swap them for you. Thank you very much. Be resilient, plan, and you'll be good. Thank you.